You know what? I want to be a dick today, especially after all the stuff we've heard about hashtag change the channel and the not so awesome document, especially included the surprising bombshells about Justin Juario Carmichael. And sorry, this is audio only. I'm kind of sick today, but in terrible quality. I know I've been having trouble with my recording device here, but to make a long story short of it, I think change the channel should happen a long time ago. And I know a lot of people didn't expect that it would turn out that Juario was a bad person. He was one of the most beloved and respected people there. And they really thought he was a great person. But the thing is, it does seem possible that he is the unnamed employee in the document accused of rape. The one accusation we do have out front on the table is that he did groom an 18-year-old girl who was half his age while he was married and pressured her into sex that she regretted, and it was a horribly traumatic experience for her. I don't think that applies as rape because it was a consensual thing, but it was the result of him as a celebrity, so to say, pressuring a fan in a completely improper way for sex. And this is clearly not the only person he's propositioned for sex in this way. If this is true, and it does seem extremely likely that it's true, that's really surprising. The thing is, he died 4 years ago, and nobody knew about this shit 4 years ago, and there's a reason why, because for fear of the fan base, as well as fear of backlash, fear of not being believed, fear of harassment and being targeted, they didn't come forward, and couldn't really imagine doing it after the guy had killed himself. It's highly likely they would have by now if he hadn't. And he was fired, and it does seem highly likely that the people at Channel Awesome, at the very least, Doug and Rob Walker and Mike Merchode and Mike Ellis knew what he had been doing to these young girls while being a married man and so forth. And that was probably why he was fired, and his firing is probably why he killed himself. But this is all very much conjecture. The thing is, that happened about 4 years ago, which is right about the time I stopped watching Channel Awesome. Because Brad Jones had left, TJ Kirk had left, Noah Antweiler had left, Joe Vargas had left, a bunch of other people that I never watched but I understood were popular had left. There was, who else was there? Linkara, and Doug, whose product had sucked since he tried to kill his own character off in the To Boldly Flee thing. And when was that? 2012? Was that 2012 or earlier? That might have been earlier that he tried to kill the Nostalgia Critic off, tried to kill off all of the review characters against the reviewers' wills, in order to turn the whole Channel Awesome into some kind of sketch comedy fucking internet TV channel thing. And fuck him for doing that. And he hasn't really had the creative spark since then. See, part of that document says that Doug Walker didn't really know anything about filmmaking. And I could tell you that just from watching him as a fan. And once he wasn't talking so much shit about things like Space Jam and Fern Gully and was actually trying to seriously critique films, the more I went, this guy doesn't know shit what he's talking about. And I don't even know that much about film critique. I've only just started to get into loving that shit. And I went, this guy's not funny. His sketches that he's still cramming into his overly written out, storyline fucking reviews are not funny. He's a bad critic, and he's covering shit I don't care about. And everybody else who I still watch, especially the guy who I still, out of all the names I just gave you, still watch all the time, is Brad Jones, the one guy who nobody said anything horrible about, he never did anything or hurt anybody, actually knew what he was doing, was a good writer and all that shit, is the guy who happens to be the dude who reviews porn and X-rated torture graphic horror movies and shit. But my point is that people were putting hundreds of thousands of dollars of Kickstarter money into and watching religiously and boosting the popularity of this product, Channel Awesome, that in my opinion, subjective as it is fucking terrible. And a lot of this stuff about mismanagement and backstage drama and wasting money and potential Kickstarter fraud, this has been, publicly known for years. How did Channel Awesome not happen? See, this is the result of fanboys. Or, Change the Channel not happened before this. This is the result of fanboys. To use Star Wars as an example, a lot of the people who rejected the movie because it was bad, because it was a betrayal of the intellectual property, a betrayal of the source material, and honestly, betrayal of lifelong fans, and really only lauded and loved by people who were born like after the prequel trilogy even came out. They called the people who rejected the film for the piece of shit that it is as the fanboys. No, the fanboys are the people who eat bullshit by the shovelful and ask for seconds. And I would say that probably part of the reason why these women were terrified to come forward, and part of the reason why it's taken so long for people to reject Channel Awesome, is because it's taken this long for them to be vulnerable enough for the truth to come out, for them to be attacked without real fear of reprisal. And that's because you people have been supporting a fucking garbage product. So I'm condemning the fans. Of course, I'm not calling you rapists or abusers or frauds or corrupt fucking asshole sociopath businessmen like Mike Machode or any of these people. I'm saying that you should probably expect better. And if you're going to be loyal to a product to the point where you're going to support it financially and religiously watch it, and to the point where people are afraid of you, afraid to condemn the product for fear of you, you should be supporting a superior product than Channel Awesome. Channel Awesome is and has been for quite some time fucking garbage. That doesn't make you garbage for supporting them, although given all we know now, maybe just a little it does. But now is when you need to stop supporting the product. Now is when you need to not watch Nostalgia Critic, even if you love him and never miss an episode. Because the thing is, now it is a moral dilemma. Now it's not just a matter of, hey, you like trash, whatever, everybody gets to like trash if they want to like trash. It's a free country. Now that we know how they treat people that are loved and have been loved and were loved and all that shit, and the things that they excuse, the things they turned a blind eye to, the money they wasted, the potential that they didn't live up to, now is when you really do need to stop watching. You should never watch another Channel Awesome video again. You should boycott them. I really think that is the moral thing to do. Now, of course, I'm never going to tell you what you can and can't watch. And even though I personally judge the fuck out of you for not dropping them years ago, like I said, that's me being a dick. I don't want you to feel bad. I want you to think about what I said. Not the fact that I said that your taste is fucking garbage, but that you should expect better. They could have given you better, and you deserve better. Okay? Don't settle for this shit. That's the moral of the story. Okay? So no matter how anything else I might have said offended you, expect better morally. Expect better professionally. Expect better. Okay? That's all. Thanks for watching.